Hey everybody, this is Nick Mayhew, three-time gold medalist and three-time world record holder, and you're listening to Power 98.5.
We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5. You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
Tomorrow, a Today exclusive. Michael Jordan, one-on-one with Craig in a rare and candid interview.
If I feel like I'm making a difference, that's all that matters to me.
The NBA legend on the state of the game and his biggest challenge yet. Tomorrow, only on Today.
What you heard was a clip, one of many, many great clips that I had the opportunity to play. I've got my special guest, someone who I was interviewed by, Donovan. What can I really say about Mr. Corneetz? And many people screw up his last name. I don't understand this. Donovan, I got you on, but I've got to do this quick intro. You're worth it. With many years of professional voiceover experience, Donovan Corneetz is a versatile as they come. He is truly an actor that can convey your message from conversational to hard sell, caring dad to party dude, and from three-piece suit to jeans and sneakers. Now, I know you're pulling that fashion off very well, Donovan. His range allows him to give you the voice of a young adult to a senior. I yet have got to hear this senior. Hopefully you can do that live for us here, live on air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5. And everything in between. Donovan can provide voiceover for commercial, promo, narrative, e-learning, trailer, radio imaging, video games, and more. You can find out more about Donovan at Dono, D-O-N-O, Vano, V-A, nvo.com, donovano.com. Boy, did I get that all in to your standards, my friend.
I think so. To make it easier, it's Donovan VO. So the VO for voiceover. So Donovan VO.com.
There we go. I did my best.
I like it, man. I like that. You were on the spot, and I think you killed it, man.
Thank you. And you know what? With these things, as long as it has people pay attention to what you're saying and to cue in, that's what matters.
Absolutely.
I just had to reiterate the Donovan. I really like that name. I don't hear that or know many people who have that name. And you may be, no BS, the second person in my entire life that I've ever met by the name of Donovan.
Man, thank you. Yeah, I'm a fan of the name myself. So yeah, I'm glad to hear you like it.
Is it, are you the first in your generation, in your family to have that name, or is it something from a grandfather, great-great-grandfather?
No, I'm the first. It's actually, from what I understand, it's a pretty popular name in like the Caribbean, Jamaica, and so forth. It's a very popular name, but my mother said she got it from someone's last name in show credits. Some TV show she was watching, it was someone's last name and she thought it sounded nice. So that's where she got my name from.
The clip that I played with the Michael Jordan, tell us a little bit about that. How did you get this? That is very prestigious of an honor of what you were able to do. Take us back to that.
Yeah, so that is one of the very first promos that I voiced for Today's Show on NBC. And that was the result of networking and relationship building 10 years prior to that actual project. I was able to meet a producer, a production manager actually, at NBC News 10 years before that, like I said, and we just kind of kept in touch over the years. And then an opportunity presented itself. She thought of me for it, and that's how it happened. And ever since then, I've kind of had a really great relationship with NBC News producers. And since March of 2020, I've actually been the promo voice of the Today Show on NBC. So it's really become a really great gig, and it's an honor every time I get to do it.
And you've got your own booth in your house.
Correct. Yeah, I have a home studio with a 5-foot by 6-foot booth with windows and ventilation, and it's really awesome. I've had it for about a year now, actually. But I've had a home studio since about 2007, of varying degrees of niceness. This is definitely the best one that I've ever had, but it just goes to, being able to grow and succeed and build in this industry.
Now, did you put it together, Donovan, or did you get something pre-made?
So it is prefab, but I still had to put it together. So it was me, a buddy of mine, and my brother-in-law actually helped me put this thing together, because it's pretty big. I mean, it's 7 feet tall, and the panels that make it up are pretty heavy. So it took some teamwork. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do this by myself.
Now, here's the kicker. You move, or ever decide to move. What's going to happen with that amazing box?
That is getting packed up and going exactly where I go, because I will make sure that there is sufficient space for this thing. This was very expensive. I won't get into exact numbers, but it was quite significant. But it's part of my, it's part of my bread and butter. It's what I do. It's part of my livelihood. So yeah, it's coming with me. That's for sure.
Those aren't cheap. For what it's worth, I know, especially when I lived in Vegas, somebody in a condo had built one by scratch. It was amazing. I actually walked into it. But the price of what those booths can cost, you can buy a new car or 2 new cars.
Yeah, this one, I could definitely get a car. It wouldn't be a very fancy car, but I could definitely get a car with what this costs. But with what revenue has returned to me because of the sound quality I have in this booth, many more cars could have been purchased. Let's put it that way.
I'm excited and proud for you. Seriously, what you do is a skill. It is not something that I'm too sure if anyone can do. Did you have to go to university? Is there any training for this, Donovan? Or were you just a natural, you knew what you were doing, self-taught, and you just had this in the bag and you knew that you could make something extremely great from it?
Now, this is definitely a skill that has to be honed and crafted and practiced and cultivated. Now, you can have, you can just by nature have a, quote, nice voice, but that's pretty much all it will be, is a nice voice. I kind of equate it to, having a wonderful, beautiful, brand new Ferrari that you don't know how to drive. So the voice on its own isn't going to help you much when it comes to voiceover. So yes, I had to do training, coaching, acting, script interpretation. I mean, there's so much that goes into it. How to tap into emotions and act and become characters, but you still have to sell something or get people to do something. And a common misconception is that, it's just talking, it's easy. But a lot of times us in the voiceover industry, we are required to have all of the same emotions and thought processes as on-camera actors, except we don't have the benefit of you being able to see us. So we can't, play a character with a look or a gesture. We don't have that. All we have is our sound, our voice, our breath. So it's very difficult, actually, and it is something that requires lots of practice and training if you want to do it at a high level. If you want to stay, kind of amateur at it and just do it as a hobby, then yeah, you can teach yourself, and there's plenty of resources out there online. But if you really want to get into this at a high level, it's going to take some cultivating and some training for sure.
How many years have you invested into this?
Oh my goodness. So I first learned about voiceover in about 2004, when I was my second stint in college, and going back to school. I kind of found out about it through a professor and through college radio, and kind of started getting advice from that professor about how to really pursue this thing and learn about the industry and get the training. And then in about 2005, after I graduated, was when I really started to say, you know what, I'm really going to try to do this thing, you know. And I got my first paying gig in about 2005. So that's kind of when I would say I started as a professional, when someone paid me for my voice. So yeah, 2005 until here we are now in 2021.
We're going to go and play one of your commercial audio clips. I don't pre-watch anything, and anything that my assistant sends to me is what she thinks is great, but I want to have the first experience with you to really have that moment, be like, okay, yeah, all right, tell me more. All right, so let's play this next clip here. So this is going to be a commercial clip we are playing.
Hello?
Hello there. Almond Joy is tropicaling.
When you need a taste of vacation, pick up.
Is that's you?
Yes, that is me. Pick up. Yeah.
That's impressive. Seriously. I'm going to do this. I usually don't, but I'm doing this one more time. So we've got Donovan Corneetz. He's an actor, voiceover. And for those that are tuning in from here and all around the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Once again, we've got Donovan Corneetz. You can go to his website to find out more, to book him, donovanvo.com. And Almond Joy is one of my favorite next to Three Musketeers. Let's play this one more time, because this is impressive to know what your voice sounds like. And after being interviewed with you, or, you know, on your show, on the How Did show, let's play this.
Hello?
Hello there. Almond Joy is tropicaling.
When you need a taste of vacation, pick up.
Now, once again, Donovan, after being interviewed by you on the How Did show, hearing your voice now, how did you pull that off?
So that was actually a lot of fun to do. And I have to admit, it came from a time in, I would say when I was in early teens. Yeah, I would say early teens, preteen. My sister, my older sister, who went through a phase, I guess, I don't know, of like, she dated about 2 or 3 Jamaican guys in a row in New York, where I'm originally from. And so that really started as me making fun of my sister's boyfriends. I would learn the accent and I would try to mimic the accent just as a way to kind of mess with them when they would call for her. And I would try to put on the accent and completely make them think like some other guy was there. It was just me being a jerk as a younger brother, as we do. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of how it started. But then over the years, you know, I never really took it too seriously. I know I wouldn't fool a native speaker of that patois accent, but I kind of just practiced it over the years. And then I got the audition from my manager, and I booked it. And it was one of those crazy things because, as you can hear from the commercial, there's really only 2 lines. You know, hello there, Almond Joy is tropicaling. And then when you need a taste of vacation, pick up. So that was it. But because of the scope of this project and how many different ways they wanted me to say that, that session lasted 2 hours.
2?
2 hours.
Wow.
Now, to be fair, there was a whole other kind of Easter egg portion of it. Obviously, you can't see the commercial. We're on audio only, but you looking at it on the whiteboard behind the guy that answers the coconut phone, there's a phone number that you only see briefly. And so what they did as an Easter egg is they had me record this whole on hold, like a messaging system where you could get weather reports for the Caribbean. You could get facts about like coconuts and almonds. It was the most kind of silly and kind of ridiculous thing, but it was a lot of fun. So that took up a lot of the 2 hours, but I would say at least 30 to 40 minutes of just repeating over and over again those 2 lines. And that's another part of voiceover that I think a lot of people don't realize. When you see the finished product, you're seeing the result of either minutes or even hours of work that they just edit down, especially if you're looking at something long form, like an animated movie or even a shorter form cartoon or a video game. I mean, these lines you hear have been recorded tens or, 10, 20, 50 times, and then they just pick the best one at the end. So that was an interesting session for sure. But I recorded that in the winter, beginning of the year, probably about January, February of 2018. And that ad ran all the way through till, I want to say, the beginning of this year. So that was nice because residuals. So yeah, that was really great that it got to play for that long after, recording it so many years ago.
And yeah, like you said, the residuals, the royalties had to have been great. Yeah. I mean, we're talking Almond Joy. Come on.
No, it was quite nice.
We're going to play one more. I was given another surprise. Let's play this clip.
Oh, boy.
We can all be a little picky, but when it comes to beef pastrami, we New Yorkers demand perfection. Nothing but prime cuts of tender, peppery beef brisket will do. And we don't mind going out of our way to get it right either. So when the pickiest person on the planet requests a personalized new beef pastrami melt, I know there's only one place to get it.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, Subway. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a Subway ad. Funny enough, that only aired in the UK. So that one never played in the US, but the UK and Europe, that's where that commercial played for some time. And as you could hear, they wanted me to tap into my New York roots to talk about the beef and pastrami. So that was another funny one. It's funny that you picked, you were given 2 commercials where I had to put on some accent. That's not my natural speaking, because in the vast majority of what is called upon these days for voiceover and commercial, and even in the promo world, they just want your natural speaking voice, for you to just be yourself, so to speak. Different versions of yourself, but still being yourself. So it's just kind of funny that it worked out. You had 2 that involved me changing how I speak, but that's all part of it too, the versatility.
Before we move on to talk about the How Did show, what's been your most proudest moment where you felt the most confident and happy and like a wow moment of like, I have really, really impressed myself to know that all of the hard work, the training, the hours, the time, I have finally arrived. When did that happen for you?
That's a great question. I would say there were, so it kind of happened in phases, if I can be honest. So the first big kind of milestone was when I did the promos and I was the in-show, pre-recorded in-show announcer for Justin Bieber's roast on Comedy Central. That was my first big like union job, I mean like SAG-AFTRA union, and it really opened the door for me to a lot of other opportunities because it was a really popular program, and it kind of put my voice out there, and I kind of got the attention of some other people in the business. So that was my first kind of big thing that caused the union to send me a letter saying, hey, you now qualify to be in the union. So that was a huge milestone for me. And then the next one was being in the Walking Dead video game called 400 Days. It was a little extra DLC or downloadable content where I had a character in that game. And what was really cool about that was that led to me having like 13-year-old kids in Germany finding my email and then asking for my autograph. And so that was kind of surreal. And so I actually had these 8x10 glossies printed up of my character. And then I would kind of sign it with a little note about the character and thanking them for their support and mail those off. And they would like post pictures of it and thank you so much. And there was message board posts about it. So that was really cool. And then now it's being the promo voice of today's show, I mean, that is so huge. It's an iconic program. It's an iconic brand on one of the big, the big three networks, right? A very long-standing program, and to have the opportunity to basically be the brand voice for such an iconic show, it's just huge. And I never get used to hearing myself on TV being associated with such an iconic show. So that is also, those are like the three kind of increments of me realizing there are some amazing things I can accomplish with my voice and my work and networking and practice and all of that stuff. So yeah, that would be it.
We are now moving on to find out more about the How Did Show. So here we go.
Let's do it.
All right, the How Did Show is a unique talk show where we talk to some really interesting people about their career paths. How did you get here? And some funny life experiences. How the hell did I get here? With some surprises along the way. I had the great opportunity by Donovan Corneetz to be a guest on his show. And I'm looking forward to the episode to come out. The awesome mini clips that Donovan creates. We are going to go and play the trailer part of this show. Once again, I've never seen it. I wait until I have the talent, the guests on. So let's go ahead and play that clip.
Welcome to the How Did Show,
What's going on, everybody?
where interesting people
Dave Benoit, Slink Johnson, Rob Hayes, Tanisha Collins, Ali Khan in the house.
answer the questions
How did I get here?
and
How the hell did I get here? So, and I had,
Yeah, I'm ready.
going to spin this thing.
What? Did you say confetti?
Confetti.
Well,
yeah.
Go, you know.
1991, Donovan and I met in the Ecuadorian prison.
I had a Gumby cut.
What the hell were you thinking?
I would get off the school bus in the afternoon and the rooster would be like, yep, there he is. I'm going to get him.
Gotta get the...
This was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you, man. And I hope I didn't up your monetization.
All right, that's a How Did show on YouTube. And then it was that spinning wheel. And I got like, who was my first celebrity crush? And I got it twice. I couldn't answer it. And then we ended up getting something else for me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tell us about...
we had to, we gave you a little special concession there. We let you spin.
I know. And to share about like my special talent was... being able to throw a basketball and land it in a hoop, throwing it backwards, and being able to get it in a shot face forward. So, real quick, once we go into finding out more about the How Did Show, this is available on YouTube. A big shout out to Richard Pryor. Today is his birthday. I found out by a post by my good friend Richard Pryor Jr. on Facebook that today is his dad's birthday. So shout out to one of my ultimate favorite comedians in the entire world.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Mr. Richard Pryor. The How Did Show.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you so much for being a guest. And your episode will actually be airing this coming Monday. It will be released at 9 a.m. Eastern this Monday. And you are actually episode 1 of season 2. So I am so excited that you will be the premiere episode of season 2. Overall, you were episode number 14. So yes, we did 13 episodes for the first season. And like I said, you'll be bringing in season 2 starting this Monday. But yeah, the How Did Show is a concept that I had the idea years ago, actually through one of my former agents. I was telling him stories about some crazy experiences I had been a part of. It's like, man, you should do this as a podcast and just, you have some great stories that, have nothing to do with your career. And I said, I don't know. Everybody's got a podcast, and I just don't know if I can keep up with it. But this was probably a good 5-6 years ago. And fast forward to 2020, and with the pandemic and all of that kind of making things really crazy, I had more time, I guess, to kind of really think about it. And I realized that people wanted content, right? People were downloading episodes and streaming things more than ever because everyone was stuck at home. And I just realized, like, you know what, maybe this is the time to bring this idea to reality. So I kind of spoke to a really good friend of mine who connected me with the guy who does my videos. Shout out to Chico. And he basically made the connection. And yeah, I had a couple of big contracts that ended for me abruptly. And, that's how it is in the entertainment business. You got a contract and then whoop, a company gets bought out or a new person comes into a position and there you go. They move on. And so it just made me realize that even with all the success that I've had, which I'm extremely thankful and fortunate for, I'm not in control of any of it. And I wanted something that I did have control over. I wanted something that was purely my creation and something that I could kind of put out there the way I wanted to. And so that's how the How Did Show came to be. And because of my work in the industry and just people that I've met over the years, I knew some really cool people. And I realized, at different levels of celebrity or fame or just in their industry, influential people. And I said, you know what? I think I have the tools. I need to really do something and make this show really cool. And I wanted to do it in a different way. So what you heard was that, yes, the show is split into two halves. You have How Did I Get Here? So that's your typical, talking about your career and how you got to where you are. And then you have the How the hell did I get here? And that's when you tell, you have these guests tell a story that either inspired them or that was crazy or funny or, just out of their comfort zone. So you kind of get to see people that, have a big following, but you get to see them in a different light and have some fun. And then what you heard spinning in the middle, that's what I call the wheel of what? And that's when we spin the wheel and whatever topic the wheel lands on, that's what the guest gets asked. And so that's why you had your first celebrity crush, but we did the first ever respin. So we had to make a special for season 2, I guess. So that's the How Did Show. That's how it all came to be. And I've been having a blast with it. And I'm going to keep it going and see where it goes.
We're going to play a clip by the legendary Dave, and I hope I'm pronunciating his last name. Is it Fenoy?
Fenoy. Yes, Dave Fenoy.
Thank God. By Dave Fenoy. Let's go ahead and play it.
A couple of years later, I started taking some classes. I started seeking it out. I put together a demo myself, which is going, no, don't never do that.
I did the same thing, man. And I kept it just so I could think to myself, what the hell were you thinking? But at the time, I thought it was hot stuff.
I have no idea where mine is. See, yours is probably, you've got it in a digital file someplace.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Mine was long before there were digital files. So I sent this 5-minute long demo.
Mine was like 3.5 minutes.
Well, see, but mine was supposed to be 3.5 minutes or 3 minutes because that was the standard length now. Of course, now they're, if you can do it in 30 seconds, they're happy.
Exactly.
But I sent it to an agent, Joan Spangler, at an agency in San Francisco. And I expected to hear back from her in a few days.
Of course.
Nothing.
It was amazing. Why?
And after a couple of weeks, I called, and the receptionist says, "Oh yeah, we got it. She'll call you. Don't worry." And after a couple more weeks, I called again, same message. Finally, after about 2 months, I called, and she said, "Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Yes, she'd like to schedule you to come in." I went over, had my meeting. She said, "Well, you're very talented. Your demo is much too long. It has far too many local spots on it.
Right.
Go back, redo it, and come see me in 6 months."
Okay.
Which seemed like an eternity at the time.
Of course.
So
just tell me never.
I went back. I pulled out the things that were local retail. I adjusted some things, added a couple things. Went back I don't think I waited 6 months, and she signed me. And I booked the first thing I auditioned for, which was a spot for the California Lottery.
Okay.
And
so you booked your first ever audition?
I booked my first ever
audition. You were
audition.
setting yourself up for not really knowing how things go.
For tears.
I love that. I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that the way the industry can work?
It's crazy like that, man. You just never know. You can crank things out, and nothing catches, and then you get one opportunity, and your entire life is different now. So yeah, that was a really great episode with Dave Fennoy, who's an iconic voice actor. He's been in tons of video games and promos and commercials. He truly is a titan and a legend in our industry, and I'm very honored to call him a friend. Which, you know, you may have some experience with this as well. It's one of those examples of someone that when I first was even thinking about voiceover, Dave Fennoy was one of those like Mount Rushmore people. You know what I mean? Like he's in the books about voiceover. He's in videos about voiceover, and you know, he's one of the people that if you're in the voiceover industry and you're just starting out, you know who he is. If you saw him, you would take a picture with him. Like that's the kind of influence he has in the industry. Whereas, you know, the average person would have no idea who he is, but within the industry, yes, he's like a celebrity. And so to go from being that guy that was like, oh my goodness, Dave, can I get a picture with you? To like, we have each other's phone numbers and we have conversations and we're buddies. It's just an absolutely magical part of what I've been able to accomplish. And it's a pinch me moment every day, man. It really is. Like I'm living my dream, and I know not a lot of people get to. And I'm just so thankful and fortunate to be in a position where I can be friends with someone like Dave Fennoy.
We're going to play one more promo clip. This one is going to be Lethal Weapon. All right. So okay. My assistant said we're doing Lethal Weapon.
I already know this is funny. This one is funny.
I'm a huge fan of the original movie back when Mel Gibson had an impeccable reputation before. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. He went a little left or right or wherever you want to
up and down somewhere.
Yeah. He went a little off course.
Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to this.
This dude ain't just lethal, he's super lethal.
You just got rogered.
He's got the name.
I can't wait to see it in action.
He's got the aim. And he's got the game.
Need a hand?
Lethal Weapon, all new Tuesday on Fox.
That bring back some good memories, I hope.
Yeah, no, that was a really fun one. As you can hear, they wanted it in the style of like the 70s promos, old cop shows of the 70s, kind of Starsky and Hutch and that kind of vibe. And so being able to, you know, he's not just lethal, he's super lethal, like kind of over the top and silly. And if you know, for people that are listening, if you could see the spot, you know, it was really done up in that style of wham, crash, bang, like that whole thing. So that was a lot of fun. And I was actually a fan of that show before it got canceled. That was really cool to actually work for a show or work on a show that I was already a fan of. So when I saw the promos, I was like, oh man, that's cool. That's me. So yeah, that actually that was a really fun one to do.
We are going to close out. However, Mr. Corneetz will be back.
Yes.
So thank you to everyone for tuning in from here and all around the world. Actor, professional voiceover, Donovan Corneetz. Check out his website, book him, Donovan, DONOVANVO.com. We played some really great clips. He's also the creator and host of his syndicated show on YouTube, The Hal Did Show.
Yes, check it out.
Check it out. Get on over there. You guys know I'm going to be posting all over the place. Donovan shared that I'm going to be episode 1, season 2, This Monday, super stoked and excited. Also today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have the pleasure and opportunity to interview Nicholas Alexander Chavez. He is one of the top actors over there on ABC's General Hospital. Once again, that's going to be 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Pacific. And
awesome.
Let's go ahead, and while you're on, we're going to go ahead and play that promo that he created.
Hey guys, how's it going? Nicholas Chavez here. I currently play Spencer Cassadine on ABC's General Hospital. Just wanted to let everyone know that today's a very special day. I'm going to be live on the air with Stephen Kwoku. We're going to be talking all things GH and share with you a little bit more about my life. So it's going to be cool. Tune in. You can go to power985.com, or you can download the iOS or Android app and listen there. And if you can't make it at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, you can catch tomorrow at 8 a.m. Hope to see you guys there. Hey guys.
With that being said, this episode with Mr. Donovan Corneetz, so since tomorrow we're going to have 2 shows, I'm going to go ahead and air this one at 9. So for all of you that have tuned in, you want to find out more, you want to share, you're a fan of Mr. Donovan Corneetz, you love his work, you want to get more of his information out there and what we talked about, including his show, The How Did Show, reach out to him if you're interested to be a guest. Donovan, couple things here before we close out. And I definitely would like for you to stay on the line and just to recap with you before we go move in our day personally. Where would be the best place for anyone to connect with you? Is it phone? Is it email? Whether to be a guest, to book you? Where's the direction?
So yeah, usually through my website is great. There's an email form there, but you could just don@donovanvo.com. So don@donovanvo.com with any opportunities, or if you have questions. And then of course there's always social media at Donovan_VO. So that's DONOVAN_VO for voiceover. And that's on all social media platforms, Donovan_VO. And Steve, I just want to thank you so much for having me on, man. It's been an honor. I know we met recently and we're able to have you on my show and to be on your show. It's just an honor, and I just thank you for the opportunity.
You're more than welcome, and you deserve it. And any special shout outs you would like to give today?
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I just want to shout out everyone that's listening, everyone that has supported me in my career over the years, and of course my wonderful wife, family, and shout out to Stephen Kwoku for having such a great platform to allow people to talk about, you know, what they do and to put it out there. So thank you.
You are very welcome. And you never know, maybe one day the How Did Show will end up being a regular on Power 98.5. So as you all know, we do have a show, Are You Ready, by music artists from Los Angeles, AR. You can tune into that live Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We will be having another new show launching this month. More information will be coming out about that very soon. So 2 additional new shows airing live on Power 98.5 satellite radio. Today, tune in. We have Nicholas Alexander Chavez from General Hospital, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune into that live. You can download the iOS or Android app. Tune in on Alexa. Add it in your skill. You can go to the Power 98.5 webpage, power985.com, or you can listen on radio.com, stream it or stream a live radio FM and a bunch of others. And we've got new platforms where we're going to be live running 24/7 very soon, just waiting on some approvals. With that being said, Mr. Donovan Corneetz, thank you for being with us today, live on air with Stephen Kwoku on Power 98.5. This episode will air tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Once again, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Donovan, what a great interview.
Yes, sir.
What a great interview.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of fun.
Always and always for you. What a great day. Have a great weekend. It's Wednesday. Wow, Christmas is just around the corner. Did you get your presents yet? I know what my gift is. It's going to be a smile for you.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.